Welcome to Positive Filter with your host, Philip Wilkerson, a podcast that focuses on friends, family, health, and career with a little self-help around the way. Please join me in this journey for self-improvement, and I hope that what I have to share will make you a better person, thus making the world a better place. All right, Positive Filter listeners, it's Philip Wilkerson back with another episode of Positive Filter. I have a very special guest. Every guest is special to me, but this one is extraordinary. It's my boy Hillard.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
And we're here in Idaho.
We're live. We're live and actually in person in Idaho. So if you've been a listener of the podcast before, you will know that me and Hillard actually started out this podcast a long time ago. And my voice is I'm losing my voice because I'm old. But Hillard and I we did a lot of our initial first episodes together. Yeah. Like my second episode was with you. So when I was very nervous to start this podcast, Hillard was like, yo, let's just do a podcast about friendship and we'll just talk like normal. And that was one of my first episodes, which really helped me ease into talking on a mic and doing podcasts. So it's kind of coming back full circle 2 years later, and podcast is still going on, and I'm going to have an opportunity to actually do a live podcast with my friend Hillard. And coincidentally, at the same time, we're live on Instagram at this time, and we got a few people. Sam Nang jumped in and said hello. I'm not going to do anything, answer any questions, because the phone's always in the corner. So it's really far away. But particularly, let's kind of jump in. I don't know when the last recap was. I think there was a couple of Q&A episodes. But like we said, we're here in Idaho. So Hillard, let's just give the listeners who've never listened to an episode before a little recap of who you are, our friendship, how we started our friendship, and why we're here in Idaho.
Well, I'm Hillard McMorris. I'm the designee best friend. Phil and I have known each other since 10th grade. Went to different colleges, but we made sure that we kept in touch. With not just us two, but also a bunch of other guys, making sure that we kept in touch. Pretty tight-knit group. But like Phil said, we did a few episodes here while I was here, and it was when I was going through a lot of stuff. But so as much as he was nervous about starting it, I mean, I was happy to help and just be a part of something, and it helped me kind of like work through a lot of emotional stuff that I was dealing with at the time. But I mean, our friendship it's been great. Our families know each other. My family know your family know my family. We're brothers, so it's more than just a friendship at this point. It's it's brothers just minus the blood, but that doesn't make it any less significant, so to say. So
fast forward, we are brothers. We did an episode about our experiences in the 10th grade. And I'm going to apologize to the listeners now. We might hit y'all with some inside jokes that have no relevance to any of y'all that are listening. But
someone might get it.
Yeah, someone might get it, but we're going to try to keep it to the topic so that everyone can appreciate this episode. But kind of fast forward, me and you both also high school, different colleges, but we also went to the same counseling program at George Mason University. And
you joined, then you talked me into joining.
Yeah.
And then I joined, and you went the community agency route, and I went the school counseling route. But yeah, none the same. I mean, it was counseling altogether.
And then kind of fast forward, not putting 100% business out there, but you got married, or moved out here, got married. Have a beautiful child, went through, I guess, a divorce.
What you mean 100%? Yes.
I'm
an open book. Yes.
Yeah, I know. You went through a divorce, and now you're out here in Idaho. I don't know. Yeah, you're right, because if the people follow the listeners followed a couple episodes. I don't know. I was trying to be protective of you. I don't know. But you're out here in Idaho. And you have a beautiful little girl, my niece, Maddie, and you're out here to be an active, engaged father. So this episode literally is why we're going to talk about Idaho and your experiences here. But I'm already going to start off the episode saying I appreciate you being my friend and helping me with podcasts. But also I have to give you a lot of respect because in my 2 seconds or brief introduction to Idaho, I know for myself, no shade to the people that we met. We met some your friends are really wonderful people. Mm-hmm. No shade. I couldn't live here. But we're going to go into that further. But give the listeners a little bit of a recap of maybe just your Idaho experience, like when you got here.
So, my ex-wife and I, we met in grad school. She was from Boise. And so, when things got pretty serious with us, she said she's always kind of made it known she wanted to move back to Boise. Yeah. Things got serious. And I was like, well, yeah, like I'll move out there. Living in, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, mm-hmm. For a good portion of my life, I was just like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. So never been here, never visited, got on the plane, moved out here.
No visit.
Which was about 5.5 years ago. Got here the second day, immediately wanted to get back on that plane and go back to Virginia. Like I was dead serious when I looked her in the face and I was like, I want to go back to Virginia. But anyway, stayed out here, and had a very rough first year, but we decided to kind of get back together, make it work. We ended up getting married. Then we had a honeymoon baby, which is Madison. And it kind of just fell apart. Like we weren't communicating. We were fighting a lot. And basically just didn't want to do that I didn't want to be in a household and raise my daughter in an environment like that. And neither did she. So, mm-hmm. I think we definitely rushed into a marriage, where we had a lot of red flags. And we probably should have, called it quits, before it kind of got to that point where, it was just, to the point of no return. But, right now we're doing good. We're co-parenting well. It took us, a little bit to get here. We had some bumpy roads, but, as far as us, we're doing great. We have a daughter that both of us would do anything for. So, we definitely make it work, even when we want to yell at each other.
And I understand you said the 2-day honeymoon period of getting off the plane. Mm-hmm. I think I've been here how many days? Like 3 or 4 days.
4 days today.
I'm ready to go back home, and I'm ready to put you in my suitcase and take you with me. Yeah. Real deal. We did a joke. I wanted to see how many black people I saw in 4 days, and I got to 52 at this moment of this podcast. So that's quite eye-inspiring. I mean, that literally was like, wow. Like, I never realized how much I would miss or appreciate diversity until I was in a completely white space. Yeah. And as you know, we talked about this. Most times I got a very diverse group of friends. Black, white, Chinese, Korean, Cambodian, everything. Mm-hmm. And I love that. I love the diversity of that. I love meeting friends and just embracing different cultures. And I noticed as soon as I got off the plane as well, like, this is not Northern Virginia.
Yeah. I mean, I told you, like, I knew it was going to be different.
You did tell me.
Your connecting flight was in Denver, and I knew once you walked to that terminal to get to take that flight to come here to Boise, Idaho, like, I knew you were going to be the only black person on that plane.
Yes, and I was.
And you were. And it's funny because I laughed as soon as you sent that text that I'm like, hey, I'm the only black person. I just laughed because I knew that was going to be the case. I mean, like you said, man, I guess growing up in Northern Virginia, mm-hmm. It was just so common. And, even when I go to Jamaica, like, it's, black people everywhere. Yes. So I don't, like, it was almost like I was taking it for granted when I first moved out here.
Yes.
Because it was just so second nature to see it all the time when you grew up around it. And yes. Then when I got out here, I'm just like, wow, like,
yes.
There's no black people. Like, I would see one or two, like, yes. every once in a while.
Yes.
And I mean, I've told you, like, sometimes, like, I can go like a day or two without seeing a black person.
Yeah,
like
we were looking for them actively, and we went to actual environments where we thought we like actually go on campus at Boise State or things like that. But if you're staying around, I mean, I'm in your neighborhood right now, and we stayed in your neighborhood or this pocket, we might not see some.
In this complex, I don't know, but I don't think there's another black person. There used to be a black guy. And
did you head nod him?
Yeah. We would say what's up to each other.
Exactly.
But it's just different. It's a culture shock. Yeah. I mean, it's different. It's a different experience. So it's a slower pace lifestyle for sure. Outside of the city limits of Boise and West Ada, which is like the county, is very, very conservative.
Yes.
So, you got to think about that, like politically. Well, just even our thought and how we move is more liberal, and we're more open to certain things when, outside of even racism, just lifestyle. And if if we're pointing just towards like sexuality, in this kind of conservative state, some of those individuals, I won't say all of them, and I won't say a lot, but some of them, they don't feel that same way. They're not as open.
So even diversity amongst LGBTQ people is not like that.
Like it's just So I mean, you see that, you sense it, you hear it. Yeah. It's different, but with all that being said, like Boise does have things, that are good. Like you can. We did it today, and we did it on Saturday where we went hiking.
Yes, nature.
And it was like, it took us it's a 10-minute, 15-minute drive across town.
Yes.
And boom, right there we're hiking, we're on trails.
There's no traffic.
And if we were like big into skiing and snowboarding, it would have took us a 40-minute ride, and boom, right there. People do that after work all the time.
Right.
So there's a lot of outdoor stuff to do.
Safety too. You didn't even lock your car.
I rarely lock my car. Like, no one like is gonna mess with me or mess with my car here. So there's this stuff. The crime is very low.
Right.
So Madison, I know, like she'll be pretty safe. That's not something that I have to like necessarily worry about. Crime rate is low here, which is good. It's a good place to raise a family when you look at those type of things. Financially,
yes,
it makes sense as far as like money, man. Like
you can buy a house for real.
Yeah, like if you're making, I would say if you're making $40,000 as a single person, you're living really good.
That's here. Good. Yeah.
You can live really good here.
Yeah.
If you got a household and you got two people bringing in like 40, 50,000 each. Yes. Dude, you're making really good. Where the DMV, you might be on the lower end of middle class to a poor. Yeah. So
that's the difference. And what, shout out to the friends I met, Jeff and Nick and Pistol Pete and Fiddler. A lot of things I realized that we had a common. The thing is, a lot of the people, except for Fiddler, a lot of people that we met that had that vibe that I would get along with, are like out of towners, because there's a large growing population here at Boise with people exiting Northern California or Portland or Denver, and they're coming here for work. Yeah. And all these tech companies are coming here. So I do see it growing and becoming more diverse, but how would you want to wait that long? Because it's not going to be instantaneous. And alluding to what you said, when I was talking to someone at the baby shower we went to yesterday, he said that for the cost of living, if you're making California money, like you work remotely and have the California salary, but have that California salary here, you're living really good.
Oh yeah.
And so that's something to take into account. But I would say, we talked about this earlier. You said that money is not the value to everything, because like, I don't care if I made 6 figs and was the director of a career services office at Boise State. Right. I would not. I don't know. Now I'm knowing my values and the checklist, and safeties are great and all that. I think that now I'm seeing it. Like, I realize that how high diversity and inclusion me as an individual person, how high of a value that is now.
Yeah.
Like, it strengthened that value.
Yeah.
Like, at first, I could be like, well, I don't care if it's a diverse place. But now, if I were ever to move anywhere in the United States, now seeing how this experience is, I'm putting it like, good boss, decent salary, and a good schools, and now diversity. Like, that's on my list now.
Right.
My dream checklist.
Yep.
And money, at least enough money to not be broke.
Right.
Is on that list, but
right.
I don't need to be the king of Boise, Idaho.
Right.
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. I joke and I always say, like, I'm doing a 15-year bid.
Yes.
Cause Maddie is 3, I got 15 more years to go.
And you want to be here until she's 18.
Right. And I kind of joke and say it that I'm doing a bid, like I'm doing jail time or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But, people ask me all the time, like, would you go back? Like, would you move back? Absolutely. If Madison wasn't in the picture, absolutely. And the main reason is because of my family and my friends. It's the thing that, again, something that I kind of took for granted at the time because it was just always there. And, Sundays after church, we were at my mom's house, so it's like, and like I would hang out with my family, and then, me kind of being more of an introvert would then like kind of disappear and go down in the basement, and I'm turning on TV and I'm watching TV and I'm kind of just lounging down there on the couch.
Yeah.
And
fitness
it's still
is big
like,
to you too. Fitness community was really big. You was in CrossFit. I mean, you're still into CrossFit, but like maybe even a diversity of activities fit. Like, just the different types of people you met at CrossFit Capital, and it's off Richmond Highway, so there's like black people, white people, there's all kind of different people doing CrossFit.
Right. But I mean, I still get that part. But the biggest thing for me is family and friends.
Yeah.
And me, I'm not an extrovert. Like, I'm not like you, so I'm not gonna put myself out there to meet new people in that sense. Yeah. And that's something that I'm working on. Yeah. It's like, all right, I got to meet new people. I got to make a life here. I got to create something outside of being just Madison's dad, right?
Yes.
I got to like forge a new identity here while I'm here. But it's it's family and friends, that close group of friends that I have. And, missing my family, missing my brother, missing my mom, missing my dad, what I'm saying, my brothers and, my sister. And, it's just, I don't have that here, you know, and have the access to them all the time, and have the access to you and,
Shay.
to Shay, to, to Armand, to all of you guys, Jay in California. And it was cool when he was in LA because that was a cheaper flight to go see him. But, just that type of stuff, even that lifestyle,
Right.
That's what I miss the most, and that's why I would, when people ask me would I move back right away, absolutely. Absolutely.
No, you said introvert, extrovert, right? And that was a big point. Knowing me, and I saying this, do you think I would still struggle here, or less than you, but still? Like,
yeah, you would. I think you would struggle a little bit with it, and it's the cultural aspect, but you're so much more of an extrovert to where, like, I mean, you're gonna meet new people, you're gonna meet friends, and like you said, you'll meet these like just different people that are moving here for various reasons, and you might meet some people that are from Idaho, because I've interacted with people from Idaho.
Find that filter.
Yeah, but you'll meet them and you would be fine. With me, like, I can be fine, but I just don't necessarily always put myself out there to meet those people. And then sometimes I just I truly do want to be by myself. Like, I get drained sometimes with being around people, and I just I just want my time.
That's not me.
I don't
That's not
so I don't put myself in those spaces all the time.
We talked about the difference on how we approach making friends. Like, I cast a wide net and make a lot of friends,
right? And
you keep your circle very tight. And we discussed on the flip side, the benefit of that is I have a lot of friends, but quality wise, I might not have as many ride or dies as you do. Honestly, like, you're my most closest friend, but your circle's way smaller than mine, And so I think maybe I would have a wide net here in Idaho, but would that mean it's a tight net or as close as we are? I probably wouldn't find that.
Right. I mean,
but I'm struggling. I'm realizing that I appreciate the space that I live in. We already gone to episodes previously where not that I struggle with my identity. I know I'm black, so that's not my internal struggle, but the struggle of people saying I act white and act black. Mm-hmm. This is like the first time where I'm just acting like I was, and I felt like maybe that was acting black. I don't know, because you were saying how I was using slang or whatever, and people didn't know what I was talking about. No, but I didn't think so, because I just talk the way I talk, regardless of people. But people in my office, my coworkers who are white, they understand the context of what I'm saying.
So that right there is just a cultural thing.
I guess so.
Like, it's a regional type thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you go to different regions and there's different there's different slangs that's used. You know, even if you go down south to like Atlanta, they got their own type of thing. You go to New York, it's their own type of thing. Philly, you know what I mean? California, they got their own like. I didn't
realize I had a Virginia. Okay, then if it's not black white, I didn't realize how Northern Virginia I was, like just in general, like because as you said earlier, the people in Northern Virginia, they don't, you know, I don't. You said when I was talking, people got blank stares. Right. And I didn't realize they were even. Well, first of all, I didn't notice.
All right. So, what Phil's talking about is he had a picture of his kids, and it was a picture. No, it was a picture of him and his coworkers. That's what it was, and he was showing it to the lady that worked at the career center, and then he said the comment of, "Yeah, that's me in the picture, and I'm mean mugging." Yeah. And I was like, I just started chuckling to myself, because I'm like, that lady has no idea what the word mean mugging means, because you could tell by her facial reaction, but she caught the word mean, and obviously she's looking at the picture and Phil's referring to himself, so she picked up on it, you know, and so, you know, it was like she picked up on the concept of him just basically saying that. Yeah. And it was just you just using it in just like casual conversation, just like as a part of it. And I just laughed because I thought it was funny, and so I just brought it up later. I was like, man, she ain't know what you meant, but it's because, you know, she was able to just pick up on it because of like the context and
also,
like, you know,
additionally, how comfortable we are with just talking about race. It's not as comfortable here.
Oh no. People get
because I thought I was being funny when, like, every situation, whether it was the career center at Boise, shout out to them, they let us stop by and just check out their career services. So shout out to Boise State's career services. They're very nice people. But then we went and saw the football field, and they were like, "Oh, this is great. You know, you would love it to work here," because I told them I work at a university, and they said, "Wow, you would love to work at this university too." And I quickly said, just with a straight face, "Not enough black people here." And they didn't know I was joking. I mean, I was kind of half joking, but I was just messing with them. And they were like, no. Like, they got, like, real defensive. And you were laughing really hard. Because you know I was joking. Right. But it was just like, I didn't realize how much we could joke like that at home. Like, ain't no other black people, you know. Like, you know?
And it was just like, it wasn't a thing. And and for some people, it's an uncomfortable, you know, type of thing. And so, I mean, I think most of the people, I would say that everyone that, you know, that I hang out with here, and truly make that time to like hang out with here, like we can have those conversations.
Right, the race.
We can talk about race, and we're fine, and everything is great, and you know, it's not an issue per se, you know, but for some people, you know, they do struggle with having that conversation, or even if you talk about, you know, anything black, white. It just goes to something else, right? You know, that's just part of it. But you also got to recap what you did and how what you took away from being here, your experience here.
Oh, recapping it.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Well, we already decided. You know, we already joked counted how many black people I saw, 52. We also already knew my pre-stats before I came out here, that there were only going to be, there's only, 0.6% black in the whole state. So I didn't have high expectations. But quite honestly, this trip was really, I told a lot of people that this trip was just reaffirming for me, not to like, because I wanted to go to Idaho so bad. It was just, if you lived in Timbuktu, I would just go to Timbuktu where you are. It doesn't matter. Right. So my main purpose of the trip was to spend time with you. So like legit, if we went to another whitest place in the United States and you were there and we're the only person of color there, it would just be me and you spending time together.
Right.
But it's still remarkable. I think one of the things I'm really, really taken aback is a lot of respect for you. And I told this, so this is not like the first time you're hearing this, but I was like, I love my son so much. I love my sons so much. And I'm very happy and very blessed to have Maggie in my life. But I don't know how much intrinsic motivation or resiliency I would have if, I was divorced and, being the extrovert that I am, having to do the situations that you do. Now, you being an introvert, I think might help because, you can go back into your space, and your house is probably the cleanest place I've ever seen in my entire life. For a guy by himself. But like, I don't know. I quite honestly, I'll do anything for my boys. And so hopefully that test never comes, but it just seems like this would be really hard for me. And so the fact that you're doing it and have the attitude that you have is very commendable. And like I said, I mean, I would get into nature. I'd love to do mountain biking. I would do that. But then at a certain point, that'd get old to me.
Right.
And I'd want to do things that I feel like we take for granted. Like, go to the African American Museum, or watch a sports team, a professional sports team.
Yeah, ain't none of that here.
None of that's here. Or just have the opportunity to go to. I know J. Cole came here, but just the frequency. Like I never knew that there was, like, you could just, hey, Young Dolph's in town. Okay, like how much the DMV offers is like, you don't know how much it offers until you're somewhere that doesn't offer it.
Yep.
As I said, I mean, we already discussed the positives. I think it's beautiful here. It just looks gorgeous here. But as we do our checklist, scenery and diversity, I think I'm going to go with diversity over scenery.
Yeah, for
sure. I mean, I can live in a place that looks trashy, but as long as we're around a lot of people of color in a trashy place, I probably put up with the trashiness.
Right.
This place is really clean.
It's super. It's a good.
I don't know. It's just interesting. Like, grass is greener, and you can find the check parts. And I think for certain people, like, I bet for a person that's not black or a person that's not a person of color, they can get a lot of the things that they want fulfilled here. And we already discussed that. We already discussed the things that they can get fulfilled here. But I think that one piece, a sense of belonging, and not even a sense of belonging to actually be a part, like you don't have to have a group of friends, but just a sense of belonging to the community, and just looking over and seeing people like you, makes a big difference. It's like psychologically, like, you don't need to like be friends with every black person you see, but just the fact that they're around you, like I'm noticing that energy. Like I noticed the energy at college, right? Like, I love where I'm working now because the when you walk around campus and just the people and the just the energy, it's so noticeable. And we walked around Boise State. It's a different energy. Now, not saying anything. Boise State, don't sue me because I'm not saying anything negative. I said different, not plus or minus, but it's different. Yeah. And it's probably not the energy that I would want to be in. Right. And that energy is basically, I'm saying diversity. And there's obviously no shade to Boise State because they're actively recruiting in their area. So, they're going to be as diverse as the area they can pull from for students to come here. Right. And the students they're pulling from is Boise, Idaho. Right. Or not Boise, Idaho, Idaho in general. Right. The state of Idaho. Yeah. They may get some, people of color to play sports from California, for the teams. Yeah. They may get, different pockets of students wanting to leave, Portland just to try somewhere different. Right. But at the end of the day, the school is representative of the demographics of the state. Yeah. And George Mason is representative of the DMV area. I mean, and that was what it boils down to. So it's just noticeable, and I don't realize how noticeable it is. Yeah,
like, so when I sent you that text, I sent him a text a couple of days and said, like, I hope you're ready for this culture shock.
Yeah, and I laughed it off.
You laughed it off. So like, what do you think about it like now? Like, is it a huge culture shock for you? Has it been?
Not huge, because obviously it's a culture shock, yes, 100%. But it's almost like you're going to this new land but I have a guide. Like, I have you as a guide. So you ease my culture shock. And then in addition to the culture shock, like, you introduced me to your friends and your circle and showed me the places I wanted to see. So I think that the learning curve or the culture shock curve would be completely different if I did this completely independent. Like you said, like, if I hopped off the plane and moved here for the first time and didn't know anyone here first and had to start a new life and say, congrats, you got a job here. I think that text you sent me would have been like, oh my God, that's crazy. But the fact that, like, you're like my walking guide, I think it curved that.
Right.
It doesn't take away that there is a culture shock, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. But just knowing that you're there with your best friend and have someone already knows where to go and show you where to go and, tell you what to say and not to say. Like, you like, Phil, you better turn yourself down. You know what I mean? So I had to chill a little bit. Don't make a scene or cause attention to myself.
Yeah.
Things like that. Things I normally do. So, yeah, that's it.
But, yeah.
And also, it's funny. Remember, like, every time we've gone out together, it's not been a black man criminal feeling, but there has been, like, you don't belong here kind of feeling where they were like, are you students of Boise State? And what that shows to me is not a racist thing, but it's almost saying, like, there's no way possible that these black dudes are from here. like that's what they must be here for college. Like, right. So it's already the mindset of almost like a foreigner. Like, you're already looked at by the community here as black. We got to really assume that he's probably not a native Boisean.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way possible. And then we kind of confirm it, but like, no, we're not from here.
Right.
And you're like, oh, okay, makes sense.
Right.
But it's just that, like, it's automatically assumed, like, it feels like it's not a foreign country because it's not, but it is a different land. It's a very different land than any other places I've been to in the United States. And I've been to rural places, being a military brat, but that's not representative of the world either, because when you're on base, you're on base. So I lived in Fort Riley, Kansas. I bet if you walked off base, it's, Kansas. But Fort Riley is its own place. Similar with Alabama. I lived in Fort Rucker, Alabama. And when you walked off base, it was not a fun place. Like, it was racist. And it's Alabama.
Right.
But you're in this pocket of base.
Right. So
we had these pockets. But the thing is interesting, what you said is, where is the pocket for black people here?
Yeah.
Like, where's, like, just the spot? And we said you really haven't found it yet.
I haven't found it.
We saw these random black people in spots, but not together spots.
And it's kind of like they're, like, spread out everywhere.
Yes.
And you'll just see them periodically.
Yeah.
At times, but like you said, like, every city kind of has that, and I've yet to kind of find that here.
Yeah.
But it's just like, like you said, there's times like I get that feeling a lot to where I walk in somewhere and I'm like, and I feel it, and it's not like I'm sitting here like looking for, the feeling of like racism. I would actually rather not feel that way or even feel like have that token type of feeling.
Yes.
That's probably the best way to put it, that token feeling.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for that feeling, but this time I'm walking around or I'm just doing something and I feel it.
Tokenish.
Yep. Like, where I go.
And also, like, what's remarkable, and I don't like that feeling, is, very, very far in between in Northern Virginia am I someone's only or first black friend.
Yeah.
You still find it, certain pockets of anywhere. But I bet if I lived here, that'd be that feeling. And, like, I don't want the weight of all black experience.
Like, sometimes I do feel
Philip, you like this? You like this? Like, black people like this, right? And you're like, what? Like, I don't want to be the representative of a whole thing.
Yeah, I don't think I've had that question though. Like, well, like black people, like, no, and like, but like, I've felt like that pressure, and I don't know if it's just me putting that pressure on myself.
Oh, as a representative,
I need to represent, like, but then not even just black people, just black males, because of like that misperception of like, yo, we're just thugs and we're not educated, and it's like this and this and this, you know, all these like negative things that, you know, that are associated at times with us. But so I felt like that, and maybe it's just me, but that's why I tell you, like with my people, like my people's here, my friends here that I hang out with, like they don't give me that feeling.
Because I think, because
like you said, I'm just very particular about the people I'm gonna put around me, you know, and the energies that I'm gonna vibe with, and I've gotten that feeling before, and I just don't.
And also, like I said, I mean, I think the people that you rock with are people. I do a lot of like, would I be friends with this person back home? Like, yeah. I take them out of their environment and say, if I place them in my environment, would they fit in? And quite honestly, a lot of these guys, yes, I'm gonna say yes to every single one of them, because I think they have that thing that's universal, right? Like a universal understanding of diversity, universal understanding of just certain things. Like I can't pinpoint it what it is.
They're just good people,
and, you know? And awareness and feelings. I don't know. It just seems like good people. Yeah,
good people with good intentions.
Yes,
you know, and like I said, I'm not super picky because I know I have my flaws and whatever. Yeah. And people don't always want to deal with me, and that's cool. Yeah. But that's what it is for me. It's just like, man, I just want to meet good people and hang out with good people with good intentions. Yes. And so like that's where I start, and that's what I surround myself with. And then, you know, outside of Frank, all the other guys that I hang out with, they're dads. Yes. You know, so we have that in common. You know.
Yes.
So. So then there's similarities that line up with those good people and those good intentions. The similarities line up.
Yeah, and
they're just open-minded people as far as like, you know, just we're different. We bring different things to the table. I might have this conservative feeling about this. I might have this liberal feeling about this, but you know, we can have these conversations and we cool and we move forward. And it ain't no bad blood. Like we could talk.
And you said you said something particular. I did notice that everyone is very nice here. Yeah. Very nice. Thank you. Yes. Hello. Mm-hmm. To everyone says hello. We was on the trails. Everyone says hello when they pass you. Yeah. Quite honestly, that doesn't happen in Northern Virginia. Right. People are too wrapped up in themselves to say hello to each other and smile. Everyone here, when you say hello, gives you a nice smile. That's a very nice feeling. Mm-hmm. They open doors for each other, very polite. But you said that even with that, there is a drawback. What's that drawback with the niceness?
So, like, people will be nice to you and things like that, but they won't always necessarily let you into that circle to where, like, you'll meet a complete stranger. And, like, I call it, and other people have called it, like, Boise nice.
Yeah, Boise nice.
You know, Idaho nice or whatever. To where, you know, you'll meet people, they'll say hi, they'll be nice to you, respectful to you. In the, you know, like if you met them at the park they're nice. You set it, you get numbers, you exchange it, like, hey, let's hang out or whatever. And then there's no follow through. Yeah. You know, you might reach out like once or twice and then no follow through.
Like or set up a play date and they won't follow through. Right. So in that moment, in their face to face, they're really nice to you, but they just don't follow up or follow through.
And it just fizzles out. And like,
does it feel fake then? Does it feel like a fake nice, or it feels like a too busy nice? Or maybe not too not fake nice, but like they're so wrapped up in their own bubble that they just don't have awareness of reaching out to people as much. Like once they leave you and you're out of sight, out of mind.
That's probably what.
They just hang out with their friends that they see all the time. Yeah, because they're just in their bubble.
It could be like, I don't know,
like no shade. And I don't even maybe not even no shade. They just don't go outside their bubble.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Like I don't know. But like how I approach it is that, you know, if we hang out, we hang out. If we don't, we don't. Cool. I move on. You know, it ain't.
And what's the difference between that and Northern Virginia? Because we're not nice. Because but I think
if you try to hang out,
we follow through with plans.
If you try to like hang out with somebody, I would say that, and they don't want to hang out with you, they just be like, nah. Or if you try to get somebody's number and be like, hey, like like our kids would play great together. I don't know, I don't think so. Like, you know, they'll kind of like shut you down, like to your face, so you get that, so you kind of like understand.
Yeah, true.
And I think it worked kind of like, you know. That happens here too. Yeah, and just like, you know, you have people that are nice there and then they still don't follow through there as well. But, you know,
I think the thing is though, if you can be extroverted in DMV and talk to anyone, then I could talk to anyone here. I mean, I felt like I was super extra here, and not because I'm out of town and there's no repercussions. It's just that a lot of people are very chill. Yeah, and my energy's on 10. Yeah,
but they're really calm. They're gonna and they're gonna talk for the most part. And like I said, man, if you're in like that downtown Boise area and like there, you're gonna feel fine. Yeah. If you go to some of these these rural areas that are around, Ada County, in Boise, then you might, you'll get that. You might back off a little bit and not be as extroverted.
Oh yeah, Ada County is I mean, this place is pretty blue in Boise, but not the whole state.
Correct.
And that's very correct.
Yeah.
So, what would be some tips that you would give to a person of color moving here?
Moving here?
Yes. Let's just say you don't have a choice. You got a job. You're balling out. You're coming here. Whether you're in let's do 2 scenarios because I think that'd be good advice. Give one scenario where you're in a relationship coming out here, and you're gonna have a partner, at least a partner, and then do the one where you're coming out here solo dolo, or if anything changes with those or not, give some tips.
I would say if you're coming out here, and you have a family, and you're moving with that family, what I would say is to definitely have some hobbies, have some things that you like to have interests, have those type of things that that are gonna make you happy, that are gonna energize you, that your self-care, have some self-care things put in place, so that if you need to kind of get back to you and focus on you, you have that. Have that strong, if family and if that's important, make sure you're okay with kind of being away from your family if you're moving out here for your career and your and you're just moving out here, your kids and your wife, your extended family, your mom, your dad, those type of things. Make sure you're okay leaving that. Because I thought I was, and turns out I just wasn't. And if you're moving out here by yourself, man, I think that's the hardest part.
You think that'd be different?
Yeah, it's.
Maybe you have more freedom though, because we already talked about we don't have kids. You can do a lot more stuff.
Yeah, go. Be intentional. Try to find people to connect with.
Yeah.
But be careful about the people that you're connecting with. Meaning just kind of observe them in certain aspect and just know their intentions. And if they're good people with good intentions, keep kind of vibing with them if they vibe with you and kind of figuring it out. But moving out here by yourself, or me just having to adjust to being here by myself, that was a hard adjustment, harder than when I first moved out here, because I did have my ex-wife at the time, and we were fine. And she kind of helped me at times in certain things that I was struggling with. But now, when I had to readjust and kind of figure stuff out by myself, that was different. That was harder, and not having that support system, so. Yeah. So I really had to be intentional about my self-care. I had to be intentional about the
your well-being and stuff.
Yeah, my well-being, and finding people that I that I liked and was in good people that I would be okay having relationship having that type of relationship with and building a friendship with them. So but I mean it can work. It's just different.
Work.
Yeah, it's work.
So what are some unexpected, besides people of color, what are some unexpected things you missed from home? And family, besides family.
And
people of color, what are some random things?
Professional sports.
Okay, yeah.
There's no professional sports here, and while college is cool, it's still not professional to me.
Yeah.
I'll take professional sports over college any day. Food.
Yeah, what food?
Just Asian food out here is just
man. We went to a good Chinese
I'll
restaurant.
say this. No, I would say this. I would say the Thai food out here is not bad.
Okay.
But the Chinese food out here is trash.
Well, we went to
like, it is bad.
We're not gonna say the spot we went to because we don't get sued. But
yeah,
I thought it was good.
No, like I don't enjoy like the Chinese food here.
The beer is good.
They have good craft beer, but then again, I try not to drink a ton of beer anyway.
And coffee, lots of coffee.
They got a lot of coffee, which I do like. But yeah, just the variety of food. There's not a ton of variety. You're gonna get your pizza, your American type food here.
Yes.
You don't get a lot of like
international
food, that soul food and stuff. So then I gotta like cook it on my own if I want that.
Right.
Access to like certain things that I would have to make even like Jamaican food.
Yes.
That's not here.
They don't have a world market.
They do have like stuff like that, but like a lot of times like my mom, she'll send me like care packages and stuff with like different things, and so that's how I get access to those type of things. So but like it's food and just that type, and then culture, like concerts and those type of things, like not being able to, like they come like to like Portland or they come to like Denver, and then they just skip over Idaho, so you don't get that,
True.
Those type of things. So
So we're in a good part of the episode. We got some people to shout out that were watching. We got Sam Nang, we had Andrew Gilding from England listening in. We had Rebecca, who's my coworker. I don't know who the original person is. We had Katie, my sis. Shout out to her. We had Tom. We had Casey Quigley. We had my wife Maggie, Justin, and William. So that's some people that were listening. Okay. So shout out to all y'all back home. We're at the part of our episode. We do our shot for shot. Yeah. I'm not drinking because we did one night of drinking, and I'm good. My stomach hurt. I'm old, so let's do a different shot for shot. We're just gonna stick to the questions. So you want to go first, or I go first?
You go first.
All right. So this is a good one. If you said there's no professional sport, and you could pick one to be, you're gonna be the owner of that team, right? You can pick one professional sport to bring here to Boise, Idaho. What sport would you bring? Of all the professional sports, and how about this? Not only just a random team, an actual established professional team, you just move them here. So you get their fan base, all that. What would you take? And I know you got your squads, but what would you pick?
It's going to surprise you, too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to take basketball.
Yeah, that's not really that much of a surprise. But what squad?
But over football, though, because I
know
really
you like the Dallas
football.
Cowboys, but I think probably for this area, it'd probably be cool to have a basketball team. So, okay, what professional franchise would you take here?
Would I bring here?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And if you get their fan base and their media. See, I already have my opinion.
Oh.
Since you said basketball. I'd bring another small market team here.
I don't want that.
Like the Minnesota Timberwolves.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing with me, too, though. Like, I love, like, the city. Like, all right. So, like, I'm an introvert and I need, like, to, like, be by myself to, like, re-energize and stuff. Yeah. Right? But I love, like, the fast pace of stuff. And so, like, when I go to like places to like New York City, like I love that, like the moving, the hustling and bustling of it. Okay.
So what does that do with the basketball team?
Because it's probably gonna be because I like the circus of like like all that drama and stuff that's around the Lakers with LeBron. Yeah, I love that stuff. So I think it's entertaining.
So you'd bring the Lakers.
Yeah, you'd bring the Lakers. Because I really do, and I am a LeBron fan, so I like LeBron.
So you'd bring a big market team here.
Yeah.
And then all that media, all the photographers, all that.
Yeah. See,
that would turn Boise upside down.
Oh, man. Perfect. Even better.
Okay, that's a good one.
So
you'd bring basketball, and more specifically, you bring the Lakers and LeBron and all that to Boise, Idaho.
All of it.
To Boise.
Yep.
That'd turn this place upside down.
That'd be great.
All your houses would go up in money and price.
Everything would shoot up. But
the black people population would go up too.
Yeah. Diversity would increase.
100%.
Tenfold. And so, like...
Okay, what's your question for me?
If Maggie gave you the green light, and you had the job and everything, would you move out here?
We discussed that, and so there would have to be some factors. One is not the money. I'd have to be like the boss of somewhere, like the boss, a director or assistant director. So career-wise, it had to be like worth not a lateral move, but a higher move.
Yeah.
And then two, we would need to bring our whole cohort. So I'd need at least one alpha chapter here, or start one.
All right.
Or the opportunity to start one. Alphas. I need Shay to come out here too, and Rudy. And they're, because I would need to have my crew. Maggie, you need to be out here. And then additionally, now I'm adding this extra. I need, a couple cousins or somebody. Like some other people. They could be across town that we only see them like once a month or every 6 months. Right. But I would need some other, my side of the family too.
Got you.
Like, I need that. So if every single thing was checked, and we don't live together. Not saying that Maggie's folks or my cousins or whatever live in the same house. No, I don't want you in my house.
Right.
You can have your own house, and even cross town. Cross town is still 10 minutes.
Cross town.
But I would need that, and then I would need our little crew, our little circle. I need Shay, and I would need opportunities to have other black men professionally. I think that's why I like Alpha the most, or my chapter. Yeah. It's opportunities to see other professional black men. So I would love to have a chapter like that here, where there's like lawyers and doctors and professional black men. Mm-hmm. So that'd be my little crew. Right. But I need all those checked. All right. To move to Boise.
Gotcha.
Now, there's other places that are probably less busy than Boise. I mean, not less busy than DC, but then they get the other parts. So, like, we already discussed this. Like, I need to go visit Portland. First of all, listeners of the podcast, I'm not moving, but I need to see.
Yeah, he's not, and I'm not trying to recruit him, Maggie.
No, but I need to see other places of the country. I think that everyone in the United States should visit place like that. I think, quite honestly, if this is a weekend trip, I think all black people should go to Boise, Idaho. One, it's pretty cool and naturey, and two, you'll be appreciative of what you have in your space. So if you're from New York City, you need to come to Boise, Idaho. If you're from DMV, you need to come visit and stay for a full week, not no 1 day, layover for a plane, like a full week, and then you're like, I love it. I had a really good time. I'm ready to go home.
Right.
But I mean, it'd have to be a lot. And Maggie, you'd have to be promoted. And you said the thing is she had to be on board 100%. Right. Because we're a unit. So if she's on 100%, then we wouldn't fight about it. And we'd be on a team. Like if one of us in the pair, like if I wasn't rocking with it or she wasn't rocking with it, that makes a big difference. I'd move off the break. Because I need her on board. And then also, I know that's an extra, keep on adding extra, but I need whatever school or elementary school that Bennett and Miles go to at least, he wouldn't be token. Like, can we get at least 3 other black kids in his class? 3 out of 20. 3, that's not that much. That's like a little crew. 2.
You might be pushing it.
Okay, 2, like him and another kid. Him and another kid, at least.
Maybe.
And they'd be friends too, like, always paired together. Yeah. Which just doesn't sound good, but I want that.
You would want that?
Or people of color.
What if Bennett don't want to be friends with him?
At least just have him around so you can see him. Yeah, you don't have to be friends with him. Just so you can see him. Just so you can see him at all. But that's it. There's other places in the country I'd like to move to, honestly. If I had my freedom to go. New Orleans is on my list. I love that place.
Yeah. So, Idaho's just off, man, because you added stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff.
I talked myself out of it.
And I kind of felt the anxiety kind of even rising.
Oh, yeah. I was getting worked out.
You don't have to move it. This is just, we just asking
questions. I legit talked myself out of ever wanting to go to Idaho.
It's okay.
So you saw my Instagram story. Like, I voted myself. I voted on the Instagram. I said no on Instagram. I was joking, y'all. I was joking on Facebook, too. Right. Maggie, I'm joking. I'm going to be home soon. So, this is a great episode. This is the opportunity for shout-outs and plugs and things that you're doing. Things for the listeners to keep out for and how they can reach you. The floor is yours.
Well, shout out to you. I appreciate you coming to visit. Appreciate having you out here. It meant a lot for me. And for you seeing Maddie again. First time since she was 6 months, 8 months.
Yeah, she was a baby.
Yeah, so. And for her to just be all about you. I love that. I love kind of sitting back and watching that.
Yeah, I mean, she's bossy.
Uncle Phil.
Yeah, she made me jump on the trampoline by myself. I was like, what am I doing out here,
But that's great, though, to see her, because Katie's family's closer, so there are times where they come and they interact, and and I love that, and I love that she has that Maddie has that relationship with them. But then also, when my family comes out here, I love that she just she interacts with them on the same way, which I love. So thank you for you coming out here. So shout out to you. Shout out to Maggie for allowing this to happen.
Yes.
And being willing to deal with two boys.
Yes.
A 4-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Yeah.
For 5 days.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Maggie. I'm sorry because they also got sick during this time, and so she's had her hands full. So I really appreciate Maggie for allowing this trip to happen. For me, working on myself to grow. Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth. If you guys have never checked out that book, I love that book. That book changed my life. I got it from my therapist, which I feel like everyone should have a therapist, and I made sure I found a way to kind of fit that into my budget financially. That's helped me to kind of grow and to be a better person. And then that's my New Year resolution: read more.
We got books we're gonna read together.
Yeah, I got some, got books to read so I can grow in that way and kind of just fill myself with more knowledge and just being a growth person, just because I just want to be a better me. But like that's kind of it. My Instagram is what I have. Yeah. I don't really,
You might not get accepted. That's what you're trying to say.
I don't really be on there like I do be on there like that, but I'm just particular about that.
He's protective of his Instagram as well. So sorry, I'm not even gonna put it in the show notes.
You can. If you already, I don't.
No, if you're already friends with him, you're already friends with him.
I'm just like,
I know you. He probably got a queue of 100 people trying to get in this inbox.
It's not like that.
I'm
not that popular.
Popular.
And I don't really be on there like that as far as like posting stuff all the time,
Yeah,
and usually when I'm putting up something, it's pictures of Maddie.
Yeah, so he's very protective of that. So I won't put it. I mean, if you're already friends with Hillard, we'll share that in the episode notes. But not the
also
episode notes.
Also I'm going back to school. Hopefully this summer to get my admin cert. To start that process to get my admin cert.
Yes.
And then from there, I'm still working, and I use my notes, like my memo notes and stuff like that within my phone, of building my motivational speaking. Yeah, because that's something I definitely want to do in the future.
So keep a lookout for that in 2019, 20. You're going to do it. You're going to be a speaker.
Start out with some free speaking just around the community and stuff like that, just to help kids, and to kind of just give them motivation to kind of just be a better them. So
he's putting on the podcast, so that means it's going to happen, y'all.
Yeah. I've said it before.
He's spoken into existence, so it's going to happen.
So that's
like this podcast did. So we're going to do it.
So those are my things.
Yeah. So thank you, listeners of the podcast. If you have any comments, you can hit me up, or you can call 571-336-6560. That's 571-336-6560. Please like the page. Share the episode. Additionally, if you saw on the Positive Filter page, I've gone into business as a career coach. So if you're out there in the community and you need help with your resume, cover letter, or LinkedIn profiles, or just job search strategies, you can come to me and we can work out something so that I can help you with my services. I'll put the form as a new client in the show notes that you can take and fill out. And I'd love to help you. And thank you for listening to this podcast. It's really grown. In that first, on that episode that we did about friendship, it's really taken off. And it was because of you that we've been consistent with it, you and my friends and my supports. There was times where I didn't do this podcast for like months, but now because of you and people really following along, I make sure now it's weekly and I try to release the episode every week. It feels good to have a structure with the podcast. So thank you, Hillard, for that. And I'm going to have you on the show calling in another time. We're going to do that again. We're going to do Q&A. Who knows? Sure. We'll figure out another topic. Yeah. And that's it. All right. Thank you, listeners. Thank you for listening to Positive Filter, a podcast that focuses on family, friends, career, with a little self-help along the way. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with your family and friends. And like the Facebook page, Spreading Positivity of Movement. Thanks for listening.